All right. Shalom, shalom, shalom. Sister Deborah, let me move this here plug here. Sister Deborah, prophetess in the wilderness. And you know what? That's all right with me. Coming again on this devil platform with another message. And I will say this is a lovely evening in which the most high, a higher has made. And I, Sister Deborah, shall and I will rest therein. Oh, I'm sorry we got cut off. We had all kind of problems here. I don't know what is going on, but we're going to continue. And it's time to talk. Again, if you have any questions or even answers, or if it's anything that you would like to speak about, and we all chime in and just get busy with information and hearing different things and just talking to one another. It's time to talk. Hello in the live chat. I'm sorry about earlier. I got cut off here for some reason or another, but we back again live. And again, it's good to see you all in the live chat. Appreciate you all tuning in. I think I left off with the 6-year-old who took who decided to take a gun to school and use it on a teacher. And you know what? Just that quick moment being off, I was thinking that child had to have been taught and introduced to guns and how to use them. You see, this child was not afraid. You see, this child was able to plan this and fulfill his little mission. You get it? Uh, I'm just thankful that the teacher is doing okay after surgery. They said she was in critical condition. I mean, just think who taught that child? And you know, us as melanated, brown skinned people, we normally won't get out here and be training our children how to shoot weapons. Uh, Europeans are I don't know if y'all might not know this. They are teaching all their children how to use weapons because they know what's to come. We run around here killing each other, teaching our sons and daughters how to hate one another as male and female. We're teaching our nation negative things. And what they taught him was totally negative, and you see the results. So it shows you what they're teaching their children. Now, they've been doing that for the last, what, I think 5 years. They've been training their little children, their daughters, their sons, their young daughters and sons, how to protect themselves and how to use a gun. And I've heard too many come in and tell me, Miss Deborah, we done taught our whole family how to protect themselves. So if anything happened, they'll be equipped to everybody in the household knowing how to use the weapons. And that's what Europeans, that's what they do. So whoever taught him, they taught him because he went in there with the intent. He fulfilled a plan that he had in him. He had to talk. He had to, for that little bitty old mind to come to that. He did that thing up. And that's why I'm trying to understand, was this kid a European? Had to have been, because if you just go to YouTube, pull it up, and you see how those people are reacting, you'll say, why are those white people looking like they world done end? Because somebody in their nationality or their race done something horrible, and they just looking. They look like they done something, and they don't have anything to do with it. But you can look on them and see their impressions, that in their faces, and all those police and how they standing there quiet and holding each other, like not holding each other, up against each other and real close knit. You don't hear them grinning and laughing like when it's a black or a melanated young person. Now, I was like, the problem what bothered me is why did our people defend everything? Everybody that they talked to outside of the elderly white lady, and she said it just hit home. So when she said that, I said, "Oh, home must be it must have been a white kid." Because all those black people, I mean, it had to have been 15 black people standing up talking about, and I helped her here, and he was afraid. And, I was like, why do we have to stand in and represent their sin? You see what I'm saying? Why? And I said, Father, look at the people. And every time I think of it, I think about Deuteronomy 28. Destroyed here, baby. Because it just didn't make any sense to me. Now, if I would have just heard it, I was like, yep, Father, this is what you say is going to happen. But when I sat there and I looked at it and it said, you notice you don't see the Europeans. You don't see the white people. You see how they reacted? I said, wow, look how they reacting. It must be a European child. It must be a little white boy. And I said, then when the lady said it hit home, you couldn't get past it because the black people making it look like it's a little black boy. It's a little melanated boy. That's what they were making it seem like. And I said, look how the system placed us all around that environment speaking, telling what happened, everything. Parents, everything. Why ain't you talking to the Europeans? Why ain't you talking to the police like y'all normally would? Why ain't y'all talking to all these European parents out here? These males and females. Why ain't you talking to the white kids? Why are you talking to these little black boys? It didn't make any sense to me. Then I said, there it is. Our people gone, y'all. They gone. And they found pleasure, like they were doing something so excited to try to cover up for this child, which is a European who had, you know what? Let me not say that because I don't know for sure. But based on the cover up, I'm like saying, wait a minute. Then I went on YouTube. I said the parents of the 6-year-old who shot the teacher today. And then the first thing I saw was the newsroom coming on, said the parents is not going to be charged. I was like, wow. You see, so I said, yep, it had to be a white boy who done that. Okay, let me let someone else talk about that, or if you got something else before I go to my next one. It had malice, yes. Yeah, that's what my son always said. When you don't see their face, it's always them. But why did us? Tell me, can anyone answer? Why did 15 at least of our people run in their mouth? No, did you all? Let me explain what I mean by that. No one would never know that it's a European. You know why? Only one was running their mouth was us. Didn't have nothing to do with it. So I said, it must have been one of us then. Why are all our people talking? Why ain't they talking? I see all them white people over here and all the police, all them white. Why ain't they talking to them? Why are they talking to the black people? I didn't get it. It's to cover up. So the system, and no one would know that it was a white child. That's what they did. And the reality is, it is what it is. But they will keep them out of the media and look clean as clean can be. And our tails get in the midst of it and try to wipe up all that dirty filth and the things that they do that's evil. Why do we do that? Just why? Okay, next time, you know what, you all, when we get off here, go on YouTube and see it on the news, and you'll see exactly what I'm talking about. And that is what disturbed me. The first thing I did, my piece of paper, said, oh, no, I'm going to put this down so I can remember to talk about it. Because I was like, but why are my people talking? It wasn't your people doing it. If it wasn't our people, why are y'all all on here talking? And guess what? I come to the conclusion. First, I said, oh, it must have been one of us. It had to be. Because why are all of us running our mouth? And all the white people out there just like we are, why are we running our mouth? That's how they covered it up in the media. So when you go on there, you're not going to see them. You're going to see us running our mouth. And that's sad. That is so sad. They ain't gonna give you too much information, but the information that would throw you off is, why is our people out there running their mouth, getting in the camera, talking about it for 20 minutes? Why? We don't know how to stand out of the way and let them pay the consequences of their wicked and evil. We always got to stand in front of them to cover them up. But I don't know if, honestly, he would have to have been white, because I just couldn't see. I seen all the white, not all of them, but they women were crying, and you see men rubbing the women, hugging the women, the white people, all over in it. And I'm like, oh, it must have been a white kid. Must have been a white kid. And on one page, it was showing a white lady said, oh, my children. And she just crying and emotion. My children, this is on another video. They so young, and just imagine they have to go to school with things like this. It hurts me so bad. You see, I'm like saying to myself, so it must have been a white kid. It must have been a white kid. Genesis chapter. Yeah. Jeremiah chapter 5 and 23. You know what? Let me go in here and get my Bible. But yes, anybody else got something? I'm gonna put the next one out, y'all. Anybody want to say anything about that? I'm gonna give you the next one. It's off the chain. I'll be right back. And guess what they said, y'all? This is where you know it's a European 6-year-old. There's not going to be juvenile. They can't put him in juvenile, nor can they lock him up. And they cannot hold him liable as an adult. They was on there telling all of that, letting you know he's going to get off. He's going to be okay. You see what I'm saying? That's how they was covering him up already. Now, me too, as a 6-year-old, I don't care what race they are. I wouldn't want to see him in juvenile. I wouldn't want to see him in as an adult, nor in jail. Nothing like that for a 6-year-old. But I will put him in a boys' home where he is getting some hardcore, not medication, but what would you say, therapy. I mean, yes, I really would. But the way they talking about it, they didn't already let him go home. So I'm just saying to you all, it is really strange the way things, it ain't strange. Let me stop making it bigger than what it is. It's not strange. It's the reality. It's just the reality of it all. Okay. Y'all ready for the next one? The next one was a young lady had the nerve to have on a belly top and thongs, and then turned around and showed her baby's rear end with a thorn on. Did you all see that? It's on YouTube. Now, when I saw that, I was like, I don't believe I can see that. I don't believe YouTube let that be up there. I do not believe YouTube allowed that to still, and it's still there, y'all. You see what I'm saying? And we as a people, that is the type of stuff we fight against. She turned her little baby. The baby ain't even a year old. And the baby got a thong on just like her, a pink thong. And she showed the baby whole body with the thong on. So you know the baby, you couldn't see the nothing but the baby back in and her whole body, her legs and everything. So they locked her up, y'all. They locked her up. They put her in jail. They locked her up. And they should have. They should have. But I'm still saying she was on YouTube. But the problem that bothered me, how you going to lock her up for exposing her body like that? And also the baby. Y'all got to understand. Let me see. I ain't going to even try to show it. But the problem I'm having with that, now when I saw it, it just blew me off. I said, now why didn't they censor that? Why didn't they stop that? Why did they let that stay up? Why are they showing that baby's body like that? Do you know how many sick men that's out here, like that sick girl that got the baby up in there? She ain't doing it because she want people to look at her baby. It's cute. She doing it because she knows what turns a man on. And she called herself showing them, because the baby girl is thick. And she called herself showing the world. But what problem I had with it was not because the mother was sicker than sick. They should have locked her up. But that a system still right now got that up on TikTok. Y'all, that's unjust. You mean to tell me you wouldn't take that off? You mean you would not? That's that. Who? Let me know who seen it. Who seen it? Now it just popped up on my phone thing, and it just blew my mind that a system that'll get on here if I say anything, they'll ban me. But you're gonna put a baby that got a thong on and got and what you see is nothing but the baby's rear end, because the baby and the baby's legs, the stomach, the back, because the baby she got the thong that she got on the baby where you can't really see it, so it's really got the baby no clothes on. But she got to turn the baby around on the back end so you can see her. Really, what it's about, it wasn't so much as the thong, because thong, I might be saying it wrong. Thong. It wasn't so much as that. She was trying to just show her baby's rear end. And she looked like she didn't have no clothes on at all. Looked like she was nude. That's how bad the mother did. And she got all this pink hair in her hair, yarn in her head, pink, like pink. And she stood up and showing her baby and sat on the bed and showing the babies. Baby, you can't do that. That's against the law. But see the minds that baby got that type of mother for a mother. That baby, whoever laid down with that chick, that baby got a mother like that, sick. And whoever laid down with her is sicker than she is, because she had to have displayed some sickness. They locked her up. And you know what? Watch them throw away the keys. Watch them throw away the keys on her. And the sad part is about it, they still got it up for everybody, the world to see. See, a lot of us thinking that they're going to do this and they're going to do this because they got that perpetual hate. They do have that, but we have that too as a people. See, here we is in the midnight hour, and we got our men teaching other men how to kill women in their heart, mind, and in their actions. While women going out here trying to look away to please them, and in them is nothing to please, because their heart is hardened. And here this child here is gone. Y'all, I ain't never seen nothing like that a day in my life. I ain't never seen a woman with her baby. The baby ain't even a year old. But I guess she was thinking, since the baby had a big rear end, that it was cute. They locked her up. They locked her butt up. Okay? Okay? Okay. Someone else got something they want to bring up? Then I'll be right back. This used to be, I don't know if y'all heard of that guy. Let me see. They do. They really do. They do. They really do. I mean, because I'm like saying, what would make her even think that that is appropriate? And why do you flashing your child with no clothes on? And you turning her around from the back end. Now, she didn't have flasher from the front end. What's the deal with the back end? Because they know them darn Negroes. She knows that they are fascinated with anything. They don't. I have seen this about 3 times where you get an elderly lady, every bit of 70 and older. You know how they be pushing carts and leaning on it because they can't even carry their weight? You should see the drool from men looking at that back end. It doesn't matter, you guys. Women, do not go out here overly doing things to make yourself be seen. It's not worth it. It's not worth it. If that woman had to get up and get out of her house for a fire, she wouldn't make it because of all that weight that she's carrying. But to the lust of men, they don't care if it's a baby. That's why that girl mindset is like that. A lot of people don't know. A lot of brown-skinned women really think that that's their only chance for a man. It's to put everything fake on and to present themselves not as they are. Now, see, like Sister Deborah, I might go get braids. I might go put a ponytail. My heart is nowhere trying to get attention to nobody. I'm trying to look my best that I want to look. I'm not out here trying to look away to cause someone to see me. Let me tell you why. Because I've learned this years ago that it has nothing to do with the way you look. It has to do a lot with lust. That's just it. Let me say the example. I don't know if y'all remember this handsome black guy. He kind of got big eyes. He should do a lot of videos about what a man and how a man should treat his woman. Y'all probably heard of him. Okay. He said a lot of things about how men should treat women this way and they should respect them and they shouldn't be cheating on their women. That man been on here for about 5 years. And I mean, he was racking subscribers. When he then messed up with his wife and then had several women. You know what that's come from? He sees he see how men are taking on the attitude toward women and to have as many as they please, and they going in that direction. Okay. Now I wasn't planning on saying this, but I feel led by the Spirit because it just came out of nowhere. And if you ever knew about the Spirit that Yeshua say that shall come, which is the Holy Spirit, the Ruach HaKodesh, one thing it was said, it will bring things back to your remembrance. And it did a quicken just now. He was saying when he said it was the day, it would be like the days of Noah. Okay. He said when you go there and it says it'll be like the days of Noah. Guess what, y'all? Let me see if y'all gonna get this here. Let me see who can probably cover this. A lot of melanated women led with their backside. That's just it. That's it. Did you see those two that been on the it's been on the I don't know, it had to been on the news, it had to been on the media, in the media about the two. Did you see the two went over in another country to get it done? They didn't make it back home. Young ones, young women, sight to see. Young women. Why? Because they want to please a man, y'all. And both of these women had husbands and they never returned. Young women never returned. And that's a lot of that's going on now. And I thought that stuff was over with. That shows you I've been under a rock somewhere, because I thought all that type of stuff was over with. No, it's not. They still want to be seen. You don't have to. I see, like with me, I believe if Sarah had to stand side by side with my daughter, she'll lose. She would lose. But I look, because they always say Sarah was fair, okay? And Sarah was this. Well, I don't understand why my daughter want to wear all this stuff. Now, she don't wear a lot. She's real good with makeup, but she don't put a whole bunch of it. She know how to do it up really pretty, but it's just that she don't need it. Everything she does, she's always something she's adding. And I sit back and say, Father, what would be the sense of creating someone with such beauty for them to go on this side and have no end to trying to fix themselves? So I think it's a demonic spirit that's on our women. I really do. On my daughter too. Because if you as beautiful as you are, and ever since you've been born, you have heard it over and over. One time I asked her when she was a teenager, when she's still young, how do you feel when people are stopping you and saying, oh, you so beautiful? She said, oh, I don't know. She don't even consider. She don't even think it. And here she is 19. She don't even realize. She knows that everywhere she go, people following her. She knows that people are looking. She knows that elderly, women, men, no matter what, everybody looking. And she melanated. She's not mixed, but they think she is. You see, they think that they don't think she's what they call African American or black. No, they don't think like that. That's them got a problem. The reality is she is. Her mother is me, and her father is the same skin tone. So I don't know where they think, but people do think they do. They really do. She don't have no hair. I mean, her hair about, when I say no, her hair about like this here. But she always putting stuff on. And it just bothers me to even think that this child is any man is entitled to her. That's how I feel. I said, they're not entitled to her. And no, she has not. She's still a virgin. But it's just the ideal of how I had to constantly stay in prayer for her, for the Father to protect her. And I ain't gonna say constantly. All I have to do is say, I would not go up against your will. This is just a mother's prayer. I make it loud and clear to the Father. I'm not going up against what you have prepared for her. I just want to put before a mother's prayer. Because I respect a higher and her beginning and end and whatever he has to allow to come on her. I respect that. But I also know that as a mother, I'm entitled to put her before him in prayer. And what he does, even though she's already before him, and what he does is what he does best, his will. And that's what's important. But I mean, that's everywhere. That's everywhere. That's everywhere she goes. And she was like that when she was born. I had to tell them to take that little card they put on there talking about the beautifulest baby in the world. You can't do that and let these parents see that. I had them to take it down. And it's just, I'm telling you all, I'm not trying to put her somewhere, but what I'm saying is, when I hear men talking about they don't want, it's just like they don't really want. To me, I'm gonna tell you how I see it. We're in the midnight hour. Multiple women, polygamy and polygamy. Yeah, the same demonic spirit that is on our women. That's in Isaiah 3. That is true. Wait a minute. The same demonic spirit that is on our women, that is in Isaiah 3. Now, in Isaiah 3, Ahiah is on the women, okay? And his prophecy is on the women in Isaiah 3. And what he's doing is he told them he's going to purge the daughters of Zion. And what he's doing, he's purging them. So in Isaiah 3, Ahiah is purging them, okay? And he's destroying the men. And he's showing you how the men are going to be during the time he's going to be purging the women. And then after, during the time he's purging the women, he's going to destroy the men. Yes. That's why the men is trying to, that's why the men in Isaiah chapter 3 coming down right after that, he is 4, where it says 7 women to 1 man. See, they didn't understand that because he destroyed the men. That's why 7 women to 1 man. See, and they thinking it's 7 women because he's going to give them women. See, that's why I say they mindset is messed up from the floor. And when the women are saying we will have our own pearls, we will have our make our own food and whatever, they're saying all they want to be called is holy. That's it. Because they knew that one man has inherited holy. Why? Because God had killed all the other ones. Go back and see it. He said, not only Deborah am I going to kill the men, I'm going to kill the mighty men. That's those who think they so mighty and big shot. Okay? He said, I'm going to kill them. And that's why when the women saw a man alive, they said, let us be called after him. And what was the man? His name, Ahiah said, is holy. Because he's now purged out of the other men. He lived, and I'm going to give him holy. He's going to be called holy. So they was wanting to be called holy. And in that same verse, in that same chapter, Ahiah called the women holy. It's a spiritual thing. And that's why I know they're out of order with this polygamy, because when he said in Isaiah chapter 4, 7 women to 1 man, they really thinking sexual. Oh, they gonna have so many men, they gonna have so many women, they gonna control them, and they gonna rape them, and they gonna do all this here. Just like they saying with the heathens, they gonna be able to have their women and do it. Oh, how you ain't gonna start it, kill it, and then start it up for you to do it? He already know you've been doing it. So why is he gonna start it up for you? That don't make any sense. So that's where they are. So when you go read Isaiah 3, you'll see him dealing with men, and he's purging the daughters of Zion, and that's why they're gonna have the baldness in the crown, and their secret parts are gonna be revealed. All that, and he's gonna say, I'm gonna purge you with burning. They're gonna have burning scabs. So that's in Isaiah 16 to 24. He's strictly talking to the men on in 24. Is that Isaiah? What's that? No, 12. Right. Isaiah and Isaiah 3 and 16. All that is Ahiah. See, let me say that again. Isaiah chapter 3, verse 16 to 24. That has no demonic spirits in it, none whatsoever. It's Ahiah. It's his purging the daughters of Zion to get them ready for holy. Okay? You have to read it. And from Isaiah chapter 3, verse 16 to 24. And in 24, you see in 25 where he killed them. He killed them in. And you see where he also tell the women, I'm going to kill thy men. He's telling them, I'm going to kill thy men. That's what he said. Thy men shall fall by the sword, and thy mighty men in the war. And then he dropped back to the women in verse 26, letting them know they're going to be crying and everything, because he's going to destroy their men. Who is they men? Their sons, their brothers, their fathers, their husbands, their uncles. He's letting them know, I'm going to get rid of their tails. See, and they don't see stuff like that. They don't see nothing like that. You see, the men ain't going to tell the men that. They ain't going to teach them that either. They just going to make them think. They just going to make them think that what they doing, just get their pleasure on and have their good time. And when this is over, he going to set us up on the other side too. See, that's how sick their minds are. All righty. All righty. Yep. He's telling us what he's going to strip us from. Those things that he's saying is things he's going to take from us. And if you go into that, you'll see the same thing they got us dressed. You know how these women are dressed in the Hebrews? Go back, look up a lot of those names. They the same way they dressed. That's deep to me. That is so deep. The bunnies and all of that, wrapped head and everything, look them up. And you're going to say, well, wait a minute, Father, y'all. This is what these Hebrew Israelite men told them they had to wear. How? He just showing you, I'm going to strip you from all of that and reveal your secret parts. Because there's some secret parts about you that they didn't want you to know. And I'm going to reveal those things. But I got to take away everything they had, a naughty spirit. Now, it said that naughty as far as, let's go there. Let's go to Romans chapter 3. What he's doing is he's purging us. He's cleaning us up. So whatever it is he's doing, he's purging us. And he's not destroying us. He's not killing us. He's purging us. And if that's his way of purging us, he's taking the things out of us which were in us. And that's what he's doing in Isaiah 3. But it has no connection to Satan and demons and demonic. No, he's just telling us, because see, a lot of people think that we call everything Satan and demons, and we don't understand we are our own worst enemy. We are naughty, but it ain't because we're naughty that we're demons and demonic. No, we're doing evil things. Okay, so that's totally different than demonic spirits. You see, because we are our own self worst enemy. That means in the flesh we do things that is that is not right, that is unright and unjust. Okay, like naughty. That's not demonic. It is unjust and it's not good. Okay, but it's not. We can't blame it on demons and the devil. It's just us, who we are, and not just every last one of us. If we say we haven't sinned, we's a liar and the truth ain't in us. So a lot of things he's saying in verse 16. Moreover, Isaiah chapter 3 and verse 16. Moreover, Ahiah said. So I do know that this is coming out of the Father's mouth, okay? Because the daughters of Zion are naughty. Naughty is a way that they conduct themselves. It's not demonic. It's not evil. It's just a way that they conduct themselves. And it's not a good way, okay? And walk with a stretched forth neck and wobbling eyes. That's just saying that that's how we're conducting ourselves. But let me tell you, if you see women today, that is exactly how they act. That is exactly how they conduct themselves. So I know that's not a lie, you see. But what he's got, when you go to verse 17, he says, therefore, the Lord will smite with a scab of crown on thy head of the daughters of Zion, and the Lord will discover their secret parts. Okay. And what we have to understand is he's purging us. He's cleaning us up. But we're going through this purge through burning as well. What's burning? Our head. Our head. The scabs on our head are burning. That's a part of our purging. Okay? Yep, he's going to purge us. But if you just read on and see what happens after the purge, he's going to call you holy. Praise the Lord. He ain't going to kill you. And he didn't tell you he was going to kill you. No, you're going over to the promised land. What are you talking about? He ain't killing you. He's taking you over to the promised land. You see? No, he ain't gonna get, he told you he's gonna purge you, and he told you, I'm going to listen to this. He said in Isaiah chapter 4 and verse 4, when the Lord shall have washed away the filth of the daughters of Zion, and shall have purged the blood of Jerusalem from the midst thereof by the spirit of judgment and by the spirit of burning. See, he's not going to destroy you or anything like that. He's not going to do anything like that. When he's finished with you, he gonna call you holy. That same holy you wanted. That one man was called. Why was he called holy? Because Ahiah had already destroyed by death our other men and our mighty men. Up in verse 25, Isaiah 3 and 25, thy men shall fall by the sword and thy mighty men. See, Ahiah did that. So if the woman all know that Ahiah done killed all our men and our mighty men, then when they see that it's one man, hey, he's still living. He holy. He got to be somebody. And he was. He was the one the Father called holy. Just as he's going to call the daughters of Zion, he's going to call them holy. And he says that because he's going to purge you. He's going to wipe away your filth. Okay? So he's going to do these things, and then he's going to seal you as holy. That's beautiful. That's beautiful. Oh, they don't teach that. See how and this is what makes Sister Deborah, and I'm going to try to stay off of that topic, y'all, about polygamy. I'm going to tell y'all why. Because the Father is saying what they are rooted and drilled in, nothing is going to pull them out. He said they've been doing the things of their forefathers, and they don't understand. Deborah, this is what he said. He said, Deborah, now, David, Abraham, Isaac, Jacob, Solomon, they were, and the others, they wasn't called stiff-necked rebellion and disobedience. So who are the fathers that they say we are like unto? Stiff-necked rebellion, disobedient. And it said about whoremongering. You see, who are those fathers? That's our Father. You see? So a lot of the men think they chasing Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Baby, you can't run after Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. You're another father. That's stiff-necked rebellion and disobedient. One that don't follow rules nor orders. They did. You didn't. So that's why it bothers me that they don't look into Isaiah chapter 3 and verse 25 and see how you're going to destroy them. They don't see that. All they see is what they want to see, and they teach these weak men. And I have to give it to you. We have more in our nation weak men than we have strong men. Oh, yes, there is. There are more weak men, and they get weaker by the day. And if you was talking about Isaiah, let me tell you, let's go back to your Isaiah 3. Let's go there and listen to what it says. Watch what it says about Isaiah 3 and verse 8. And Jerusalem is ruined, and Judah is fallen, because their tongues and their doings are against your creator. See, that's why I be telling y'all, they are against Ahiah. So that's why I stayed on them about the things that they doing and how they allow these men to lead them and mislead them and guide them and bump their heads all kind of ways to where they can't function. Now listen to this. Listen to this. This is what he said. Isaiah chapter 3 and verse 8. Jerusalem is ruined and Judah is fallen. Same thing he said about Babylon. Babylon is fallen. What is he saying? You see, they don't want to see that. But watch this here. Because their tongue, these men got some ugly mouths, y'all. They got some off the chain, ugly, loud mouths. And they're pastors and leaders and apostles and call themselves prophets and teachers, seers, and watchmen. And out of their mouth is no spirit and truth. And this is why he said, watch, listen to what he said. They have fallen because their tongue and their doing are against Ahiah to provoke the eyes of his glory. Now watch this here. Now this is where you know that a lot of the men have sugar in them. A lot of them is in the closet, under the bed, and all over the place. They don't understand the gathering. If you're not gathering in spirit and truth and in the anointing of the Father, where the Father is always in the midst and you all are surrounding the power and the anointing of the Father. But if you all got a man in the midst of you and you falling and doing everything he tell you to do, when you know what, you got homosexuals in the midst of that, y'all. See, when the Father anointed and appointed fire is not burning in the midst of these men that would unite, then what? Satan take his course. He get in the midst of it. And that's where you see men messing with men and they don't know. One don't know what the other one is doing. The other one don't know. A lot of that goes on. Same thing with polygamy. These women would begin in this day and time. These women ain't in no household trying to do what you tell them. They also fondling with each other. The Spirit told me that. He said, this is why you speak of it, but you don't know that. He tell me that I don't know the deepness of the wicked that's in the midst of it. I know what he has given me. Now listen to this here. Watch this here. We still in Isaiah chapter 3 and Isaiah chapter 3 and chapter 9. The show of their countenance do it witness against them, and they declare their sin as Sodom. They hide it not. Woe unto their spirits, for they have rewarded evil unto themselves. See, they thinking, now watch this here. Verse 10 says, saying ye to the righteous that it shall be well with him, for they shall eat the fruit of their doing. See, Ahia is saying something. He said these people, these men are doing some things, y'all. And that Sister Deborah don't have to sit here and lie. He's telling us, do I meditate and preach it and keep teaching? No, it's finished. He didn't spoken. The Father has spoken. I can repeat what he said and leave it alone. Don't go battling people, trying to debate with people out of this book. Let the word speak for itself. You see, and that which is life in the book, it's going to come out. It's going to be revealed straight in our eyes so we can see. We're going to see it for what it is. And that was Isaiah chapter 3, verse 8. It was from 8 to 10, but that's still good what you have. And it's kind of sad because they won't read that part either, y'all. They won't teach that to their congregation or to their men. They won't even give them that. They won't even show them that. They won't show them Isaiah chapter 4 in the order in which Sister Deborah has given it to them as it is spoken. They won't show them that. They got to add to it. They got to take away. They got to make sure it massage the men to where the men, oh yeah, we righteous, we just, we the anointed one, and they don't even understand. You hear one online calling everything Jesus. You hear that individual so lost, and I said that man need his first wife because he messed up from the floor. But this is what happened when men step in and try to be a man to a man. All you have to do is talk to the old heads back in the days. They'll tell you same thing then. A lot of fathers got out of the house because they couldn't resist messing with their daughters and sons. Yeah, it's a lot of things took place in them days that the father still gonna judge the fathers on. It's a lot of things, you guys, took place back in them days. And they try to make it, back in the days, ain't no back in the days, nothing. He said that which was in the dark shall come to the light in these days. And that's why Sister Deborah is able to speak on them. Yep. One and done. And I mean, it's a sad thing, but it is what it is. And once you start to walk in the spirit, you see these things, but you are also able to keep it going. And another thing, why is it Shillong, why is it our people are putting so much of our trash on the media? Why are our people putting so much of our trash on the media? You see, if that's not showing you something's here, because we're showing every nation how our minds are being destroyed. We don't care what we put on the media. Nationwide, they don't care. Just even our men dressing like women. And the things that our men and women are saying is just off the chain. To me, it's okay. See, I can embrace it because Deuteronomy already said they destroyed here. So I know why they're doing it. You get what I'm saying? But it's just the idea to see it as it was spoken that shall come to pass. That's one thing. A lot of people don't know when you see your father's prophecies coming to pass and everybody act like they blind to it or they can't see it, they don't understand it, they can't embrace it, they can't talk about it, they can't do anything. That's because they are not of this Father that I serve, the Most High, a higher. They are not of the Father. That's why they can't cover the things that the Father has prophesied and has warned us about. They want to step in a different realm and in a different area that they don't have to face truth. They want to step in a realm where they can lie. Okay. Anybody else have anything that is said to be? I think those are the two that I did. And it's another one. It was a young man was saying something very powerful. The word that he said was so powerful. Oh, I know what he was saying. He was saying something that I say all the time, and it felt good to hear him say it. A young, brown skin. I mean, he was like 30 something, but when he said it, I was like, Father, thank you. It feels so good to hear people know it for what it is. You know, it just really, because I'm like, see, he knows. And he said it. And just imagine if enough men could hear him say it, they're not going to still take to it. The Father said, it's just finished. It's over. It's over. Yep. It's just what it is. It's over. Yeah. So we're right now. It's time to talk. If anybody got anything else that they can bring forth that we can discuss and we can cover and kind of clam on top of something of that nature. I want to also explain to you all that when people reject the curse itself and they don't own it, then they are not the ones that's going to make it out. You get what I'm saying? They can't make it out. They won't make it out because they reject the curse. That means they don't believe the curse exists, nor do the curse reveal to them anything. Now, like I said to you, and it's already started. It already started. They already cutting the book out. They're cutting it down. So let me ask you something. If you woke up tomorrow and all the Bible were gone, how would you do from that day on? How would you do? What would you do? How would you do? How would you continue in how would I say it? Your walk with a higher. If you woke up and all the Bibles were done away, they were gone, how would you react as far as where do you go from there? Anybody in the live chat? How would you do? How would you? And honestly, it's one thing and then the other, I would say. So how would you do? What would you do if you woke up and all the Bibles were gone. You don't have anything to read, to go to study, to anything. Because to me, all the stuff that they're putting in these Bibles, and they have changed so much, it's pretty much gone anyway. There you go. There it is. There it is. Enough in you to keep you running. There you go. That's it. You would have enough already within that can keep you going. You see? Because once you get it in you, it don't go, y'all. It does not go anywhere. It remains. So just having it in you, and that's what's so important, is to understand, let the word live in you and you in it. And that's in the spirit. Let the word live in you and you in it. Okay? To where someone can even take it, or say if someone don't take it, but say for instance, you go to the store and someone begin to say some things to you. Guess what? You don't need to be quoting this book. You begin to speak it. You know what I'm saying? Begin to speak it. That's the whole idea of a higher wanting to come in you, to abide in you. Because if he is the word and the word is him, then he's living in you. You see? And he said, I will give you the words to say. That's why I tell you all, don't ever have to challenge no one in this book. You don't ever have to challenge the book and no one else that reads it. Don't let them cause you to debate it or question. Just speak what's already in your heart. Because most likely, to tell you the truth, what's in you is greater, with no doubt, than he that's in the world, which is a book. You see? So that's greater in you. And when he meant that, when he said that, he means that. He said, don't worry about what to say. You see why? Because he's trying to let you know it's not about what you read in here. It's what lives in you to teach you spirit and truth. Because he is the word. And when he said, I would teach you all things, that's what he meant. He didn't mean some. He said all things. So it's really something to always know that if no matter what happened, keep it within you. It ain't going nowhere anyway. The Father said, once you get it, that's it. That's just it. And you don't have to know it from A to Z. He said, just know enough for A to B, just know enough from A to B, and I'll meet you where you at to give you rest, to give you the rest. You see, that's what a lot of people don't understand in these churches and in these camps and in these academies and in all this mess. See, they want to be able to beat you from A to Z from the book. And they don't understand, wait a minute, you can't beat me because I'm in spirit and truth. You in a book. You see? Now, the Father will give you some of his anointed points out of the book, but it's going to line up with what you're going to say in spirit and truth. You see? So, don't ever give up the most high, a higher that rests in you. Don't ever, you know what he said? Remember, he said you can compress the spirit. I really believe that because there's a lot of people really know a lot. They know a lot. They know a lot, you guys. But they walk around like they know nothing because of so many voices in the land have given them this thing about, I know more than you. I know I can do this. I can do this. I can do this. I know Hebrew. I know Greek. I know this. I know that. Look, sit down. You don't know nothing regarding spirit and truth with all that clowning. You see? So, therefore, I'm sure that the Father is allowing those who are already rooted in him to be the speaker in these dark and evil days. As a matter of fact, I know it is because this man said something. I was like, now, where did he get that from? Where did he get that from? And the Father was just showing me, see, Deborah, I got mine. They got theirs, I got mine. They got theirs, I got mine. You see, he got his. And even when they got theirs, I knew they gonna have theirs because I got mine. I gave them theirs and I got mine. See, they don't know nothing about that. They don't know about the power of who Ahia is. They don't understand that everything that is being orchestrated here on the earth and in the heavens is always in the first thought of the Father before it is on the earth. Like it is in the heavens, like it is. No, like it is in the earth as it is in the heavens. They don't teach that. Because they got to grab everything and bring the authority in them so that they can manipulate and teach people error. And that's what he says also in Revelation, in Isaiah chapter 3. For those that has caused you to error, those who have led you caused you to error. And you know what, as I was looking at something, I want to show y'all something that's really sad. And it's real sad, y'all. Let me show it to y'all. And I was looking over it a couple of days ago, and I said, Father, I would have done better not even going back into that to see it like that. Now I feel real sad because it's so 100. It's so 100. In Isaiah verse 3 and 7 all the way down to 11, he's talking about men, okay? But when you get to Isaiah chapter 12, he says, Isaiah chapter 3 and verse 12, as for my people, children are their oppressors. Now, look here now. If we're in the land of captivity, we already oppressed by our slave owners or those that have us in captives, right? We already oppressed. Look what the Father said. Women, I want y'all to see this because a lot of us think our kids are all that and some, and we don't know, we ain't seen trouble that our children is about to bring upon us. And if you ain't seen it, it's coming. Because these are the things that must come. And it's nothing you're going to be able to do about it. Because his word going to fulfill itself. Now listen to this. Isaiah chapter 3, verse 12. As for my people, children are their oppressors. Now, isn't the Gentiles and the heathen supposed to be our oppressors in this captivity? Right? So now who's against us again? You see, women, you missed it. You missed it. See, we have allowed so much to get past us while we are trying to offer and get everything for our children to make them have and be able to be comforted. Okay? We need to give them to the Most High Ahia in a way that Ahia would work with us dealing with them. Let's put it like that. But we have to give these children, I don't care if they're 30, I don't care if they're 40, I don't care if they're 20, I don't care if they're 15, I don't care if they 1. Give them back to the Father. Give them back because you don't know what is about to take place. You really don't. You really don't. Now listen to this. Isaiah chapter 3, verse 12. And he says, as for my people, children are their oppressors. Why would those children in which you carried in your womb 9 months, I breastfed mine, bring them to my breast, teach them, bring them up, feed them, make sure they had what they needed. All activities, school activities, all sports, all parents teacher programs, all everything. And even time where I was homeschooling, gave them everything, all of me. Okay, now watch this here. And women rule over them. See, I was thinking when it says women rule over them that they're speaking of men. No. They're saying a woman ruled over the children that are oppressors. Can we do it? No. They are off the chain. That's where you see the chaos in the household. You can't see the confusion, can you? You cannot see the confusion, can you? You know why? They have been lying so long till we done missed it. We didn't missed it all. Listen, let me show you where. And it's sad because that's why I said I didn't want to cover it. But since we were on Isaiah 3, I wanted you to see something that was very powerful in this. And it's really powerful. Listen to it. Listen to it. Go to Isaiah chapter 3 and verse 12. As for my people, he was saying, as for my people, because in Isaiah 8 all the way down, he was talking to the men, how ugly they are, and how Judith has fallen, and how homosexual have stepped in. I don't know if y'all know that, but that's what it said in Isaiah chapter 3, verse 8, all the way down to verse 11. And then you come up in 12, he's still talking. Now watch this here. As for my people, children are their oppressors. Do y'all understand that, women? Do y'all men, do you all understand that? So you see the hell and why he's going to take the daughters of Zion and they're going over to the promised land. That's why. Because he knows that you done took on a load way beyond a load. And a lot of you all don't even know it. Y'all have still done good in trying to do what's right and to do the positive things to make sure your kids are taken care of, and anything that they get in, you're always there to get them out. You're always there to help them, to make sure you support them. But what you did not know, they come to oppress you. They are going to oppress you. You see how the captives, the Gentiles and heathen have oppressed us in the 400 years? Guess what? Just imagine the baby that you carry, that you breastfed, that you fed, that you brought up, that you took to school, that you attend all activities and all sports and everything you had them in. You took them to college, you bought them a car. Those same children are going to be your oppressors. And guess what? Listen to this. Listen to this. And tell me if y'all when you hear me say this, I might need you all to tell me, is it saying this? That's why I want you to look in the book and tell me if it is saying what I'm saying. Okay. Okay. As for my people, children are their oppressors. Okay. And women rule over them. Now, is he saying the women rule over the children that are going to be oppressing us? I want to hear that least let's say 1, 2, 3, 4. Give me four of you all. Tell me, what do you see in that? What is it saying to you? Just give me your insight of what you think it might be saying. Since this is the time to talk, let's just see what that's saying. It ain't easy. I know it ain't easy, baby. I know it ain't, honey. Let me tell you. And guess what? Only easy it would get is when you can, something in you give you the strength to just fully say, okay, Father, whatever you do with them, I'm turning them back over to you. So whenever they're out of your hands, a higher will let them be in his. Okay? But you got to trust a higher to just do what he does best when they in his hand. Let's put it like that. I still haven't heard from no one. Come on now, you guys. We in Isaiah chapter 3 and verse 12. When it says, as for my people, children are their oppressors. And then it says, and the women rule over them. So is he saying the women rule over the oppressive children? Or is he saying the women rule over his people? Come on now. Okay. And it's sad, you know. because just being a testimony within itself, the children are their oppressors. That's 100, y'all. That's 100. Can we say that that's one? Okay, the question is, he says in verse 12, as for my children, as for my people, okay, children are their oppressor, and women rule over them. It answered with me a multitude of questions. It completed all the questions. It fulfilled years. I'm talking about good 15 years. It fulfilled it. It totally capped it off, fulfilled the understanding. Look like everybody froze. Nobody has. Yeah, that's definitely. But the women rule over them. Now, let me explain what he's saying. He's saying, women, the children are your oppressors. They're going to give you hell. They're going to oppress you. You're going to lose sleep. You're going to lose heartache, sorrow. You ain't going to see your flowers from them. If anything, you're going to see their negativity. They're going to oppress you. And the women is the ones left to try to rule over that oppressed state of mind of the children. And that's what's in the household today. That's what you see in the household today. And you not just, when I say today, I like this verse because it tells the story. At least, which I say with me, I'm gonna give it what it's due in the last 20 years. So it gives me, at least me as an individual, a good 20 years up that this here is so fulfilling. Because I used to see women with their children and wonder when, hear them talking. I used to, and I think the Father allowed me to do that. Everywhere I go, women was talking about how disrespectful and disobedient their daughters are and their sons are. And I was like, these people are crazy. You know, I'm telling y'all, I was thinking like, oh, they crazy. Something wrong with them. But you know what? When it comes upon you, then that ruach will bring it back to your remembrance when you thought that these women were crazy when they were saying their kids was acting like this. So I'm saying 20 years have this been fulfilled. Been cutting up. Now it's been longer than that, but I'm just showing you where I can see it in the spirit and truth of the matter. Because see, listen to this. Children are their oppressors. Their oppressors. Okay. Children can't oppress men if they're not there. Y'all get it? Listen to this. And women rule over them. Is it saying, the question was again, is it saying that the women rule over the oppressive ones? That's what I see it saying. That's what I see it saying. Then it says, as for my people, children are their oppressors. You know how children are supposed to be your gift and your excitement and your joy. A father telling you those days are over. You can see that in them from 2 to maybe birth to 2 to 3. They even call terrible twos. He said you can see it in that. But as that time come on, they're your oppressors. And women rule over them. Oh, my people, they which led thee caused thee to error and destroy the way of the path. He's talking to men. Those that led you. Those that led as past tense. Thee cause thee to error and destroy the way of the path. And as you continue to read, it runs you into males. It runs you into the men he's talking to. It runs you straight into them. And then as he goes further down, that's when he starts purging the daughters of Zion. But it takes you from 13 all the way down to 15. He's talking to the men. Yes, he's talking to the men. 14 said, and Ahiah will enter into judgment with the ancients of his people and the princes thereof. Those are men. You see? For judgment. But here at the top, the reason why women are catching the fire is because the oppressor, the children, are bringing home issues that oppress you, okay? While you're trying to rule over them, you really can't get a grip of them because they're doing so many things that oppress you. Oh yeah, they being there, and nobody want to admit to it. Okay, that's a good one. I don't quite understand how we rule while they being oppressed. Okay, if you got a son and a daughter in your house, you didn't ask them to stop doing something at school to where they get suspended or whatever. Okay, they are not following any. It's not so much as anything you saying, anything the school is saying, smoking drugs or just all of this, that's oppressing you. It is oppressing you. Okay? It's interfering with your life. So it's saying that these children are oppressing the parents. And we know that it's not the men because the men are not in the house. And if the man is in the house, he normally don't take the righteous place to be the full discipline. The word can't be a lie as far as what it's saying because too many people are experiencing exactly what it said. Yes, things are out of order in the household because men not as supposed to be in the household and left to them. See, that's they took off. Go back to, all you do is go to Isaiah 3 and go to 8, verse 8, all the way down to 11. And he's telling you what the men are doing. They like Sodom and Gomorrah. They like in themselves. They caught up in themselves. He knows what he said. Let me see. Okay, I had to write into Texas. That's right. I am too. Look, not only that, that's why I'm not for what they're talking about as far as anything regarding women. I'm just totally against it. Okay, here it is. I had 6. And did you know that having 6 in the household and have still a deadbeat? Yes, you can. You can have a deadbeat father in the house as well as a deadbeat that don't ever been in the house. Yes, you can. Yes, you can. Where I did everything. Didn't pour anything, not even just the spiritual, nothing. Okay. No, sown nothing. They are oppressing us. Yeah, they ain't oppressing nothing else but us. And we are trying to rule it to get it under control just to have a household. That's a powerful thing. All you have to do is talk to other women that has children in their household, especially teenagers or even some that's older. They'll tell you the story. All kind of things they're doing. And they study trying to stop them and tell them you can't do this in the house. They don't care. And disrespect? Oh, no. Oh, no. They don't care. They don't care what they say, how they say it. I told you that the quiet storm had to bring my oldest 42 down. Brought him down like the Empire State Building. Yes, he did. Quiet Storm did that. One of the baby boys. We ain't gonna have that. He told him, we ain't gonna have that. And I, before I looked up, he brought him straight out of the house onto the outside. Bam! And that was just it. He locked him down to that ground like something just took over him. And he nailed him and he told him. But it don't matter. It don't matter. Because see, the thing I'm saying to you all, the Father has already given us enough to go on. And a lot of this stuff has to do with us trusting in him. See, it takes us back to him, his bosom. So we can understand who we can trust in and who we can lean to during these times. Because it ain't going to stop him. Just like he tell me. He keep telling me it's over, Deborah, it's finished. You think that's going to stop? No, it ain't going to stop these people from doing what they doing. Just say it. Whether they accept it or not, say it. Discipline and everything. And a lot of women think because they got little children that they can say something and they going to do what they tell them. Baby, that's not it. You ain't seen nothing yet. You ain't seen nothing yet. Just give them a little time. They that sweet, innocent one. But when that time comes, once they get out of that way one time, it's going to be the way they're going to continue. And it's what you call the house is out of order. The earth, the world, period. Especially teenagers. You see, sister, why it's important for us to believe? You see, we need it all, don't we? We need everything he can give us. And that's what bothers me when you hear these loudmouth, old, drawed up men talking about stuff that gives them pleasure. And we as women out here holding the whole house, okay? And the children. While they thinking it's okay for them to have women to hold the children and to hold the house down while they go out there and lollygags with each other. Pretty soon they're going to be loving on each other. Because a lot of y'all don't know that's what it all leads up to. Yes, it does. Because Ahia said when he's not in the center and they are left with a man in the center to control them and tell them how to be a man and how to be a leader and how, no. I said, seek ye the kingdom of heaven first. You're going to seek man as your idol? Okay. We're going to see how long that going to hold up. And see, a lot of them don't understand. We're in a different time period. We're in the midnight hour. Any and everything is going to happen. So when you setting yourself up, even for having, let's say, for instance, if I had a house and I had 5 maids, okay? Because I got, let's say, 6 children and I got 5 maids. You know what? Where we at today, those maids going to either be tampering with one another somewhere along the line. They're going to be conniving against me, messing with the child. It's going to always be something. You see what I'm saying? Always. Because of where we're living in the times we're living in. And the Father said we don't have no respect for his prophecies. He didn't warn us and told us. But when you respect his prophecy, his curse, and what he have said, it ain't going to come your way. Not like that. It ain't going to come your way because you're ahead of it. It's not ahead of you. You're ahead of it in spirit and truth. You see, you're not letting somebody hit you across the head telling you, oh, it's like this, it's like this. No, you coming in with your eyes wide open and you ain't got time to close your eyes. You got them wide open. And I'm talking about spirit and truth. This is the spirit and truth. So that, and which is a good thing, But you're not going to get too many people involved into spirit and truth because they want to live a lie. Okay. So when you hear in Isaiah, after he tells them to tell the men, let's go here. in Isaiah, when he's talking about and oh my people, they which led you. Now you know the women didn't lead the men, so you know he's talking about the men. Listen to what he said. They which led you caused thee to error and destroy the way of the path. That's the men. Now watch this here. Verse 13. And Ahiah stands up to plead and stand to judge the people. Okay. And when he's saying the people, you got to understand he's not talking here about females. He's talking to males. Now, this is where you're going to know. Watch this here. And he said, and 14, and Ahiah will enter into judgment with the ancients of his people and the princes thereof. For ye have eaten up the vineyard and spoil of the poor in your houses. He's talking to the men. He's talking to how they messed up their household. You think they care? You think they would look at this and dissect it? No, they so busy telling these men we got virgins over here. You can have many wives as you please. Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob did. You don't say stupid stuff. And they don't even understand what captivity was Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob in. What captivity was Solomon in? You in captivity and running around here trying to make the curse of your captivity a lie so you can live a lie. See, even the captivity alone lets you know ain't no polygamy gonna be allowed. Because it told you you wasn't gonna be worth a dime. But what they do? Oh, we're gonna build a tower. We're gonna reach what we need to reach. We're gonna build land and we're gonna do this and we're gonna do that. Okay, a father gonna say let you do it. But let me tell you, I know for a fact that I'm gonna live to see it. Whatever tower you build, I'm going to see it come down. Because the system is already preparing to destroy many of these brothers from the inside out. They already working on it. And I know I shouldn't be telling this, but the truth be told, it's many of them working from the inside on their tails. And when they get them, they just like the FBI. FBI let you do what you want to do and how you want to do it. But when they come, they got you. They got everything on paper. So that's how the system is going to let them think that they have built their own tower. They have built their own community. They have built their own wealth. They have built their own land. They have built their own church. They have built their own God on a man. And then the father going to say, okay, you know I already released everything to you, Satan. Have your way. And see, that's what they know. They don't understand. Ahiah have to be in the center, not you having perpetual hate for women and destroying the minds of the men. And that's why a lot of the men's mindset are out here killing these women. And the sad part is about it is so many of them. It is off the chain. They can't, the media wouldn't even dare inform us of the things that's happening all around this country. It is off the chain. Yeah. Yep, dressing like women. It's in there telling you. And it's in there telling you Judith has fallen. And what is it? Guess who told them that Judith was fallen? Jacob. He said Judith is like an old lion crouched down. Who can arouse him? He lazy. Jacob already said that. No, they don't believe in nothing. They won't teach them men that. Oh, no. And why do you think, see, when you talk about the homosexuals, when you do the percentage, it's like 85 to 15. That's how more men than it is women in their lifestyle. Okay. So the reason that is because they've been doing it for thousands of years. Back in Solomon and Gomorrah, you didn't hear Solomon and Gomorrah say the women, it said the men were gathering at the door. In the book of Judge, when them homosexual in Benjamin town did the same thing with the judge. I mean, with the retired, the ex king of Judah. came to the elder's house and they wanted to have him. And he put his porcupine, I think that's what they call it, out instead. They wanted to have him. And it says men and boys, young and old. See, the women didn't start this homosexual stuff. Men. See, a lot of things they want to put on us because they put before the Father in the garden. That woman you gave me, first blaming him, and secondary, she caused me to never owning up. So if you see men not owning up before the Father of creation, don't expect them to own up to you or own up to righteousness and teach this thing under the umbrella of righteousness. That's why you got to be about spirit and truth and let them go on their way. I mean, when I say let them go on their way, let them go on and either not have it or have a relationship with the Father themselves. And that's why he say your wife can sanctify you. Because he said right then, your wife can sanctify you based on what information she knows. She can teach you something. But to see the way they got these men believing, they ain't gonna get nothing but what out of the mouth of man. Yep. Malachi 2 and 13 and 17. It says that too. It's something that kind of, but it's a sad thing that, you know, and it's sad, but it's okay, y'all. It's all okay. The Father said, let it be, and it's fall the way he has orchestrated it to fall in place. Teacheress. You see that? He's sitting here telling them that, but they don't read that now. They don't show this to the men. See, that's why I was saying to you, there's a many of things that will make these men turn and let Ahiah be their teacher. If they show them things in here that actually letting them know you can't put your trust in man. You got to go to the Father himself. And when a man can leave his wife and his children because another man is offering him something, either he got some sugar already in him or eventually he's going to have some sugar in him. And pass and press on. That's right. But yeah, that's a good one. Yet it says, yet ye say, wherefore, because Ahiah has been witness between thee and thy wife of thy youth, against whom thou hast dealt treacherous, yet is she thy companion and the wife of thy covenant, letting them know, you know, you gonna do this here, and you gonna do things. And that's how they feel. They feel that they can just do it their way. But they see what the problem is, you all, is we have to be able to deal with the Father in the spirit. Okay. Anything that gives pleasure to our flesh is to go up against who we are in the spirit. If what we serve in the spirit, okay, it's not in righteous, okay, then whatever we do, like a lot of them now, like I told you, that man, he's been on here, y'all. I'm good. I think he's been on here good 12 years. He's a very attractive, tall man, built really steady. I mean, you know, and his wife, and he never showed his wife, but he always on her in his car talking about how men have done women and women should put up with this one. And now I just looked on there and they showing him all these other things he said negative about his wife. And he went and got him a young girlfriend. I'm like saying, see, because what he saw is he saw all these men playing this whore with these women. He sees this, and it's it's really hard for men to contain themselves in this situation, because Satan ain't nothing to play with when you going over into this here lust and sexual. Oh, Satan ain't nothing to play with when you move over into that type of category. He got you now. He know exactly where your weakness and how weak he can bring you to your knees is when he can get you to lust and use sex and the things that pleasures your body. That's why I'm against saying that the Father is for you having all this pleasure for your flesh. What will he inherit allowing you to all the time has pleasure for your flesh? Do that make any sense? It doesn't make any sense. He never put women to be cattle and use as I would say cattle, slaves. And you know what he shared with me, you guys? I'm gonna tell you what he shared with me. He said the Hebrew men have used the same weapon their oppressor have used upon them onto their women. So they like the clout that the oppressors had over them, and they found a way that they can feel the power if they put their women under the same oppressed slave mentality as the slave owners have had them throughout the years. And it makes so much sense. If you can take the slave owners here and you can see what our brothers doing today, it matches up. Even the women dress code, the way they dress and tie their heads, long dress, no color coding, no nothing, and just dress and don't take care of themselves from the inner side. They focus on trying to just wear what the man say. Their health is not in order. They haven't been able to take care of themselves and seeing a doctor or anything. These men have put these women in a captivity mindset and have treated them like the oppressor has once treated us, our fathers and our mothers back in the days as slaves. He said they call themselves reversing it, and it makes them, it's okay. This is what he's saying. I'm gonna make it real clear. It's like a black man, once he get money and be famous, he marries a white woman. He said it's like that. The black men, once they get a little something, they think that they can bring black women to the low of the low. You see? It's just like that. Their mindset goes in that area, and they don't even understand the Father is going to judge them on the earth regarding it. You're going to be judged in the spirit as well. But what you do on the earth, you're going to be accountable for. See, a lot of them thinking, oh, I'm going to be able to do this, and I'm going to go to the promised land with this. I'm going to teach them how to do this, and I'm going to teach these men how to do that. But baby, what you do on the earth, don't think the Father ain't seeing it. He's going to let you pay the consequences right here on earth. Derek Johnson. Yeah, I think that's his name. Jackson. Yeah, I think that's his name. Yeah. I think that's his name, Derek Johnson. I think that's his name. Yeah, it sounds familiar. Yeah. But it's sad how they do things like that. And then they want you to okay this. And yes, they got many of women who fall under that. But see, these are women who have not seeked the Father first. These are women who seeking the pleasure of a man and think that what he can give them, and this is the way the Father wants them to live. The Father didn't tell you that. He said, seek ye the kingdom of heaven first. That your same spirit that man received, that image of Yah, you got. He got everything you got. So why would Ahiah belittle you just to make him rise up? Think. The women don't think. Why would he call y'all them and for them to do this as them for you to be below his feet, and he walk around and have everything, dental and everything, and your tail walking around with nothing? That's the life. But see, this is where the sad part. We got one life. that breath of life he given us, it's only one in this flesh. Once we let these men use it up, that's on us. Because he didn't tell us to be used like cattle. He didn't tell us to be dressing like we slaves on the, you can show the minds of the women is gone because slavery didn't took place. The same dress code that you have in slavery is the same dress code that the men are desiring the women to be in this day and time. These black men, they got the women dressing just like that code, that same dress code they had back in slavery when the oppressor or the slave master had them on cotton fields and all that. That's exactly how, just think y'all, that's exactly how they dress. And then you go back to us in Israel and you get the history. You see these women got their heads together. You see, anything the heathens and the Gentiles tell us we are supposed to look like, we look like it. We don't go and really find our true identity as far as, wait a minute, I don't want to just look like I'm a slave to the system in the way they dress and the way they want to dress. Look, I'm a dress to make myself look nice. I'm not dressing to make nobody look. I'm a dress to make myself feel like I want to feel. Ain't nobody gonna tell me how to dress because he ain't coming for my dress code. He coming for the spirit that rests therein. He ain't coming for my dress code. He ain't coming for my flesh either. That's going to the dirt. That's why I don't believe that he desiring men to get all the pleasure, enjoyment in life out of flesh, of lust and sex, and then heaven sitting here waiting, and then they get to sit in the kingdom after they had all their fun on the earth. I just don't believe that's who Ahia is about. Okay. And I don't think fun is sex and lust. But see, in them, it's a desire and a yearning for it so bad because Ahia is not in them to tame them and to put that in order. So they are out of order. And see, that's another thing they don't understand. You are out of order. You're not in order. You're out of order. But you can't determine it because no man is going to stand and tell you all, man, you know, this lust thing is deep. When you see a woman, you lust, you desire her, all these things. And then you feel you can get her because it says you can have her, because you can have as many as you please. See the sickness? It's crazy. But you want her because you lust after her first. You see? You lust after her first. Yeah, they pick all that drag, the love pushing, that no pants. You know why they do that? It's a form of control. Because if you go back to the slave owners, back in the days, even on the cotton field, you go all the way back. You see them women got their head wrapped and they long dresses. And just a dress on top of a dress. And they just out there just working the field. That's how they want the women to be because it reminds them of power. I'm sorry, y'all. It does. It reminds them that they got power. Just like a white man, a black man, when he gets some money, he go marry a white woman because it reminds him and make him feel like he got power. Well, that's the same way. And that's what they're doing. They're desiring the power over another individual, not understanding, and watch this here, not understanding that individual is going to have to stand before the throne of Yah by herself. And with that one breath of life he gave her in that flesh, these men got these ignorant women thinking he's going to judge you on how you allow him to control you, your whole life in which he gave you the breath of life in. So what they're saying is when Ahia breathed the breath of life in us as women, it was only for them to put us in captivity to their control and to their slavery, just as the slave owners did. That's what our Negro men mindset is set in. They so geared to being in control. You do what I tell you, you submit. Let me tell y'all something that's deep. I'm going to tell you something that's real deep. Did you know that Sister Deborah has a body? And also in this body, I have a spirit. Okay. Some people's spirits. Okay, let me go here. In Proverbs, this is listen to this. In Proverbs 16 and verse 2. In Proverbs 16, it says, all the ways of a man are clean in his own eyes, with an S. So that's telling you in his natural eyes, everything he does is clean. Okay, watch this here. But a higher weigheth. What do he weigh? The spirits. You see what I'm saying? He's going to weigh the spirits. So when you got a woman that's submissive to you, she can have 20 spirits in her. You see what? And that's what the Father said he weighs, because a lot of us don't know spirits enter in. When the Ruach is not in us, spirits enter in. So if this man got this woman under submissive to him in her flesh, how will you control the spirits that comes and abide in her? It doesn't make sense. I wouldn't want a woman submitting to me until I have submit my spirit to the Father, and the Father has endowed his spirit in mine. Then I will want my wife, based on how I live in her presence, to desire the Father to do to her what he has done to me. Allow the Father to come into my wife, and my wife is to desire or to seek that the Father's spirit come and abide in her. Now, once she has the Ruach HaKodesh and you have the Ruach HaKodesh, now you can be head. You can lead and you can guide, because y'all going in it in spirit. You see? These ignorant men going in here talking about, yeah, she got to do what I tell. She got to submit. Don't exalt yourself over man. Get your ignorant tails somewhere and sit down. He don't call that anything. Because in the flesh, why would I submit myself to a man that's on drugs? A man that's homosexual? Yes, I married him, but yet all these things, but yet I still got to submit myself to him. See, these women are sick to fall under that trap. Ahia is not holding you at the altar based on how you submit to the flesh. The flesh is in the ground. Why is Ahia in the heavens worried about you submitting to a man that's in the ground? He's wanting what is in you, that spirit and truth that represent him. And if you didn't represent him in the spirit on the earth, then don't think you're going to represent him in the spirit in the heavens. Depart from me, you worker of iniquity. I knew you not. I never knew you. Matter of fact, you didn't serve me on the earth. You served man, his desire, his lust, his fantasy. You had no place in you for me. I told you to do this, you did what he said. I told you to do this, you did what he said. All because he got women, these men got these women trained to believe he's the head. And Ahia, they got that bent. He said you are to rule. Rule don't make you put her down so you can stand on top of her. That's not what rule means. It just means you have the first and the last say so. You speak and you lead. It doesn't mean that she is your cattle. And that's what they did in Genesis 3 all the way up until today. And that's why they see what they see today. And they don't have no heart or no spirit of the Father in them to see that that was not the correct way. Once sin hit, any and everything goes. Let me tell you why. Why did you think Cain killed Abel so instant? Those were not grown men. Those were children. Why would Cain kill Abel? Instant. Soon as they had him, they both started doing what each one was called to do, but one killed the other for nothing. That's because when sin hit the earth, that was it. That's how deep it is. And what they did is, and I'm gonna tell y'all something that's really sad, y'all. They have used some things the Father said against the women for so long, and He wants you to know, don't let them use that against you. And that's that women rights, equal rights for women, women that's under this equal rights or liberty, or whatever they call it. He said that's a trap for you to not have your own decisions, your own opinion. The Father said way back when sin had hit, men took the word rule and they ran with it. And they put women too far down low after they didn't look back at Genesis 1 and see where He said, I created them, him and her and them. And then He began to bless them, and He told them to multiply and replenish, to do this and to have dominion over this as them. But when that sin hit, they began to lie. That's why Adam said, that woman you gave me, and she did it, and he never owned up. That was the key word that Father wanted y'all to know. They're going to always blame everybody on their left and their right. If you're in front of them, they're going to blame you. If you're in the back of them, they're going to blame you. They are never going to own up to it. Because just think, if Adam didn't own up to the Father for what he did after the Father sat and told him, don't do it, one commandment and one law, and you couldn't keep it. So if you didn't own up to that by saying, I was wrong, I did wrong, what makes y'all think these men gonna own up to wrong today? Just think. That was the creator they couldn't own up to. So what makes you think the flesh of a woman they gonna own up to? Or the flesh of a man? That's why we need the Ruach HaKodesh. Because since Genesis, sin hit, these men been conducting themselves all kind of ways, even messing with women, messing with little girls, not messing with men, messing with little girls. You see? A lot of people don't want to touch the rim of what, that's why I said most of these women that call themselves teaching, they need to get somewhere and sit down. Because the truth been told, you just only teaching what somebody else, some man done taught you. Spirit and truth will wipe you up. Because when it happened in Genesis chapter 6, when he destroyed the world, nobody wants to go there and teach that thing. You ain't gonna hear a man, just like Deuteronomy 28. They won't own that. They will not own Deuteronomy 28. They will not own Genesis chapter 6 when he decided to end the world. What was going on, you guys? So then you come over here in the New Testament and you see several times where he says it's going to be like the days of Noah. So when I go back and I say, okay, Father, here I am. I'm going back to Noah. I get back up to Noah. I don't see what it says back in the days of Noah. It's going to be like back in the days of Noah. I said, why isn't what going to be like the days of Noah or not like it was in the days of Noah? What is going on? He said, look at it. I began to look at it. I said, wait a minute. This thing was deep when you destroyed the world, Father. It was deeper than deep. You'll think every man would stand on the mount and proclaim what took place back then, but they don't. They lie. They lying on fallen angels, because the sons of Yah are not fallen angels, you guys. The sons of Yah is not fallen angels. Okay? So what happened? They talk about the giants. I'm like saying, when I go back to do the giants, I say they just a certain people that were giants. Why are they lying? Why are they lying? Find out. I go over in the New Testament and it talks, it's going to be like the days of Noah. They're going to be buying and selling and all of a sudden feasting, which they doing now amongst the Hebrew Israelite in the world, all these pagan holidays. And it says feasting, and they're going to be marrying and giving in marriage. And the Father said, stop right there. He said, stop right there. Now you pull that out and bring it back to Genesis 6, and then you know where you at. And when I did that, I was like, you can get lost in the New Testament when it says it's going to be like the days of Noah. In one section, it says that. And then the next section is also said it's going to be like the days of Sodom and Gomorrah. So it's going to be the both ways. It's going to be both ways. But what the problem is, I'm okay with Sodom and Gomorrah because I can see that today. But when you sit and you see it says it's going to be feasting and buying and selling and marrying and giving in marriage, you got to pull that out. Marry and giving in marriage. That's what the men are teaching today to the men. Marrying and giving in marriage. That sounds like what was happening in the days of Noah. Marrying and giving in marriage. Then you lock it in with Genesis 6. Watch this here. And this is show you how they don't want to show you this. These men are not going to teach this thing right. Now watch this here. Genesis 6. And it came to pass when men began to multiply on the face of the earth. Why is it telling you that? Because it's showing you the sin and what they were doing was among the men. Now watch this here. And their daughters were born unto them. And reason why it's saying their daughters who are born unto them is because you notice you don't hear mama. Okay? You're seeing because the men sell their daughters. They always did. See, and that's not something the father told them to do. When someone come and take someone's daughter, they always have to buy it. They have to sell them. That's sex trafficking, as you see today. Same thing, sex trafficking. And this is what he's saying. It's going to be like the days of Noah, Deborah. They're going to be marrying and giving in marriage. Now watch this here. This is what was going on back in the days of Noah. Chapter 6. And it came to pass when men began to multiply on the face of the earth, and daughters were born unto them. Verse 2. Then the sons of Yah saw the daughters of the men, that they were fair, and they took them. They took them wives of all which they chose. Why? Because see, the sons of men saw what the men were doing with their daughters. And when they saw that, and they saw that the daughters were fair, they began to do exactly what the men were already doing. And they did what? And the sons of Yah saw it, said, wait a minute, that the daughters of man was fair, and they took them wives of all which they chose. If you so cock and pick and dumb and don't understand what that means, that's lust, that's sex, that's everything you can think of. There it is right there. That's what in the world, you guys, right there. And see, you go back to the New Testament and it says in the days of Noah, they're going to be buying and selling and feasting and marrying and giving in marriage. Exactly what they said here. They took them wives as they chose. As many. So when them men teach this, they want to lie on the giants. They call the sons of Yah the fallen angels. No, these were men that were of Yah. That's why they were called the sons of Yah. Why would they be fallen angels? You look up fallen angels in the Bible. You look it up on your cycle, anywhere on Google, anywhere, and you will never hear that word, fallen angels, in this book. You'll never. And you say, you mean to tell me fallen angels is not in the Bible? It'll mess you up. No, it isn't. You see, it's what they drilled in you to believe. They're lying, you guys. Okay? So the Father wanted me to understand, Deborah, it ain't that I'm lying. It's what they've been doing since the beginning of time when sin hit. That's why they won't go to the perfect will, which is in Genesis chapter 1, verse 26. Let us make man in our image and in our likeness. And Ahiah made man, him and her. I made them. And he told them what it would be like. Why? Because that was his perfect will. Now, when sin hit, they came up out of his perfect will and never looked back. They never looked back to the perfect will, to the point where they never knew who the power of Yah was in the word us. They never knew the power of Ahiah was us. They still don't know that today. It's so much mystery in them two verse chapters in Genesis 1 and 2 that they can't even grip it. They don't even know that these things is spirit and truth that's sitting right there. This is what he said in Revelation 10. He said that when that angel blow that trumpet, Ahiah is finished. Okay, and he said, and the mystery as before is given to his prophets. So you ain't gonna get his mystery in no pastor, no bishop, no apostle, no Maureen, no seers. You're gonna only get Ahiah's mission in the prophets and the prophetess. You're not gonna get it nowhere else. So they can go around and clown and act a fool like they've been doing, misleading people and teaching people and lying to people all they want. But this here is nobody don't have any respect for the fact that why would Ahiah create it just to destroy it within seconds? Why? It's because no one even dissect the fact that in Genesis 6, when he decided to destroy the world, it had something to do with this. Listen, y'all. The sons of men was having born daughters, and it leads me to believe these daughters hadn't even started. A lot of them didn't have a cycle. Daughters, they were being born, and these men, these sons of Yah, saw the daughters of men. Now, why was the sons of daughters beholding the daughters of men? Because they saw men selling their daughters to other men. Sex trafficking. And that's what the sons of Yah saw the daughters of men, that they were fair, and they took them wives of all which they chose. Then you go to the New Testament and he said they're going to be marrying and giving in marriage. That's what this polygamy mess is. That's what they doing. They doing the same mess. And the consequences in that is going to show up and show out. See, that's what I'm saying, y'all. They didn't painted a picture. To me, as a prophet is in the wilderness, the picture is not even pretty. But everybody seemed to, especially these men, because it's fulfilling their lust. It's giving their lust and their ego something to go on, as if it's going to make them kings and leaders. But what happened? Ahiah's going to chop it all down right before their eyes. He's going to chop it all the way down. But guess what the Father is not? He's going to wait till they think they done built the tower. Because that's what the men are doing. They trying to outbeat the curse, first of all. We're going to build what he said we can't have. We're going to have this on this land. We're going to build our heaven right here on the earth. And these ignorant men can't see that that's what these so-called pastors who stealing the money from football players and people who got money to build stuff, and they don't even understand where. Now one of y'all can go to Deuteronomy 28 and he tell you you're going to have wealth to build on the earth. We're supposed to be looking for the kingdom. We're supposed to be first looking for the New Jerusalem. Why are we building up on this country? See, it don't make sense, do it, y'all. How are you building up on this land of your oppressor, and he already told you coming for you? Because they don't have no respect for the curse. They never had any respect for the curse. They never will have any respect for the curse. They think they outriding the curse. And these sick men who weak because they left wives and children because another man decided to sit in the middle, and it was not Yah, and gave them what they wanted. And the Father said, even the signs of wonders, I said the beast and the Antichrist was going to perform. So what makes you think a man got some power that can't be the power of Satan? Didn't he say the Antichrist and the beast, they're going to be doing miracles and signs and wonders? You see what I'm saying? So this shows you the men. I believe, this is what I believe. I believe that what has happened, the weakest link of men follow behind the flesh of man. Our men that's rooted in spirit and truth, or in the spirit, they not follow behind nonsense. The Father ain't gonna let them. They're not following behind none of the nonsense. They can't even be their own king. You know what? Because go back to Deuteronomy 28. He said, no, you're not going to have anything in your land of your captivity. So when he was saying that, he was trying to get us to have a mindset to look to the promised land and to look to him. But when you get down here and you begin to have, and you begin to get, people start to get, their minds start to get high and mighty. They begin to feel like they are better than you are. They're higher than you. They can't come down to the anointed level because they feel that what they have require them to be way and above you. They don't have to listen to you. They don't have to abide by what you said. They don't have to take heed to nothing, because their money is greater than anything. What we have is bigger than what a higher can give me in the spirit realm. And I'm going to honor what I have. You see, and a higher, I love it the way he do it. He lets people with that mindset, sell them on, build your tower. And that's what they thinking. They thinking that we're going to have all our weapons and all our guns and all our food. We can build buildings and we can build farms. We got all this in here. You only got that because the Father allowed you to have it, because you're building on your flesh. He's taking his out. When he take his out, you still going to be left in the rectum of Babylon, waiting to be destroyed or being destroyed as time go on. He's still going to get his out of here, because his are looking for the promised land and the New Jerusalem. While these nappy-headed men are telling these men, we build and we got this, because they stealing their money. And the men are too weak to understand. They ain't doing nothing but calming you out of your money, taking what little you have and building up on you, building you some hope that you're going to override the Father. That's what they telling them. And they can't even see it. They can't see it. That's why I say people who get a little money, I'm going to tell you something. I think, honestly, I know it's true. I ain't gonna sit and lie. I ain't gonna even tell you no lie. Everybody said, if you had some money, you've been and gave it all away. I would have. I think I told y'all that testimony where the Father had told me about 300,000, and I was looking for let me tell y'all something. Yeah, I had a book. I had wrote out everybody I was gonna give something to, and guess what? I wrote out what I was giving, who I was giving it to. It came up to 300,000, and I didn't have nothing. That's what it came up to. And the Father allowed me to win $300,000, $300,000 for the CEO. And I was crying. I was like, Father, how do they get it? He said, because the store discriminate against the law of the land. But why do they get it and not me? You said 300. But I realized, and I'm going to tell y'all something, even to today, I know why I don't have what I could have, because of my ability to do so many things to make money. And I'm sitting here like, well, what is it that's keeping me? He said, go back to Deuteronomy 28. It takes you right back to the curse itself. So we are to just take it one day at a time, have the things in which we need now, but put our all in spirit and truth. Let him teach us, lead us, and guide us. Because you all, when everybody thinking it's going to remain the way they, and I'm telling you, we right there. We are right there. I mean, when he's coming to get his out, we are right there. And do you think, now listen to this. Isn't this something to think about? Watch this here. Those that didn't build their tower here on the earth, have they all in all? Have they women submitted? Have they women and children and all their wives? They have all they land and have all they built this and built that. Guess what? When he come, do you think them people gonna turn around and want to give that up? No. You get what I'm saying? So it really, if you really think about it, it all makes sense. They ain't gonna want to get that up. I got too many wives. We're gonna stay sitting here. We're gonna work. They are not gonna give nothing. Their pleasure, their enjoyment, their little money, their towers, their everything. They're gonna keep sitting out here in this land. They're not gonna come. They're not gonna give up what they building on the earth. Do you think that they would build? Do you all, anybody in the live chat, would you think that they would give all of what they have because Ahia's opened the door for us to go out? No, they won't. They ain't giving it up. They will not give it up because that's their mindset today. They would kill for it. That's why the way they teach on these other platforms, they need to. Now, I ain't gonna say they need to because the Father said they ain't going to. So it's no need in saying they need to. They ain't gonna give it up. No. That's why I said, if the Father gave me some land, all I want to do is go to that land and lay out on the ground. Just lay in that land and just look up and hear what he say to do next. But when he says, Deborah, it's time to swoop the coop, that land gonna be sitting there. Sister Deborah gonna be following his spirit. Sister Deborah ain't sitting here finna build up on land and buy all this land over here and over there and over here and trying to just buy just to have it, to say I got it. And that's what interferes with a lot of people who don't follow the spirit of Yah. They follow the spirit of their flesh, not the spirit of their flesh. They follow their flesh and they go in that direction they're in, and they can't hear when Ahia say, do this, give this, or donate this, or bless this. They can't hear that. Only when they can get something out, they will. But outside of that, they looking to buy this, buy that, and live here and live there. Baby, you can't live on all that land. See, and so with me was just the ideal of being in the ground, just the earth, the greenery, and just looking to the heavens and just listening to him tell me. And my kids said, but Mama, what if there's snakes in the grass? When I said, they just gonna have to bite me up and bite me down because I'm gonna be talking to the Father all the time they bite me. They said, but the way you talking about it, you gonna be laying down on the ground. Yes. So that's my whole thing. And I was thinking, I say, one of the things about sitting out there like that, because I felt that as far as what I keep seeing, I'm gonna be honest with y'all, I do kind of see where the chaos in the land. I do see it. I'm not gonna lie to you. I can see that your neighbors and the community gonna be on fire and people destroying one another and killing one another and running and I can even see how people are like in the zombie mindset. I can see all that, you guys. And when I say that land to just get out there and lay, because I figure if I'm out there and I'm laying in that ground on that greenery and I'm looking up in the heavens, ain't nothing but all land, and I'm just looking up in heaven, it's between me and the Most High Ahia. So anybody that's thinking they can get out there to me, well, you know what, you gonna die. Because he gonna kill you before you get to me. Because I'm gonna be on that land just looking. And I guess it's more so trying to say, all I want is him. I guess that's what it's pretty much saying. All I want is that same thing I have now, but I want it to where it's just me and him just out there. And I'm communing and trusting and believing only in what I know I have been believing since I was 4 years old. So I guess that's one way of kind of putting it. They have and will die for their Gentile. Yes, they will. Yes, they will. Yes, they will. And I see people who are there. Okay. When I read in Deuteronomy, it talks about the curse, and it says a lot of things in it is actually what we are already experiencing, what we are going through. But it talks about the Gentiles and the heathens more so the Gentiles is going to be get above us. And what he's saying is they really weren't above us, but they're going to get above us, and that we're going to be beneath them. So when he says that, I have to respect it, even though I don't have to bring them, allow them to bring me that low. But yet he said it. So in a sense that if you're going to have a church and you got Gentiles in there, you can't, it's not a good thing. It really isn't, because it's still putting them above you and in their state of mind, whether you the pastor, the bishop, the seer, the watchman, the teacher, no matter who you are, you still beneath them in their minds. You see what I'm saying? You still below them in their minds. They don't see you where you think you at because you're on a pulpit. They don't see you there. They still see you below. And the sad thing is about it, if the system wanted to come in and do a some crooked stuff, that's how they'll come in. They'll come in through your own, but they will come in through theirs once you have allowed their people to come in and be a part of your church, your congregation, your group. Then they're going to use them to come in and stab you in the back. That's just how they work. That's how they always work. Why? Because you took the curse and you cursed the curse. You said, no, the Gentiles can come in. They can come in and fellowship and be with us and be a part of us. Okay. But what did the curse say? You see what I'm saying? What did it say? That they're going to be above you and you're going to be beneath them. So even though you're on a pulpit as a pastor, you still in their minds underneath them. You see what I'm saying? The Father knew that. The Father knew their mindset is going to be set to where you're going to always be underneath them in their mindset. And if the system, and I ain't going to say if, but when the system shut it down, they're going to use those same Gentiles to work with them to shut your butt down, because you went up against the curse and said the curse is a lie. I'm going to make a lie out of this curse so I may live truth. I'm going to build, and have this, have that, and have this, and have this, and have that. And where the curse said you ain't going to have nothing. And it ain't saying that you're going to be poor out on streets and homeless. It's just saying you're going to live just your normal daily life. But when you get in it and you start stealing money from people, taking money from others, and call yourself putting it toward to benefit your tower, building your city. Oh, Father gonna show you up and show out. Yes, he is. And he's gonna destroy it from the inside. And that's scary. Because the Father would destroy it from the inside just to show you, I'll come step right where you at and destroy you right where you at on out. And that's how he's going to do it. And a lot of them that goes out here and do these things. And I really do. I think about how the word deceiving is so powerful, but they use it for all it's worth. They don't care if they're telling you the truth, y'all. They don't care if they're telling you righteous. They don't care if they're telling you just. You know, they don't care. They just, all they care about is that they can manipulate you, take your money, build up on what they have, pay for their home and family and their wives and everything they riding in, get you to pay yours so that they can live on high on the hog. So what are they doing? They living beyond what the curse says. So they say, the curse is for Deborah. The curse is for Deborah. It ain't for us. That's what they're saying. Going against it. And how you know it's just all you have to do is listen to them on YouTube, and you can listen to them how they say it, and they got this, they got that, and they trying to represent they all that and that, and calling it the fruit of the Spirit. Baby, please. The fruit of the Spirit is spirit. It is not what you stealing out of the pockets of weak men and building on. It don't make sense, y'all. It don't make sense, but it doesn't. No, you can't. But they don't think they don't feel like that. Cuckoo clock. You ought to quit. Countdown has begun for Pastor Cuckoo Clock. You ought to quit. That's why I pray for discernment. That is very good. That is, but how do you know that you don't already have it? Or do you know if you have it or not? But the Most High is so awesome. He is. And he got a sense of humor, y'all. He has a sense of humor. Yeah, he has a sense of humor. Oh, I cannot believe my I let my charger again in the other room. So I guess I'm gonna have to sign off. Anybody have any other questions? And I also, you all, you say you have it. Oh, good, very good. That's very good. That's very good. I tell you one thing. It's an awesome gift to have. It is an awesome gift to have, and I appreciate you too. That discerning is an awesome gift to have. And you know what? All the gifts can help you, but it can sadden you at the same time. You know what I'm saying? Say for instance, if you can interpret dreams, and then when someone come to you with a dream and you're able to interpret it, and it's so much hurt and sorrow in it. You know what I'm saying? It's just, and some other dreams don't have to be sorrow, but there can be some positive, good things. But I'm just saying that, the gifts is something, and that's why I guess it's really good to have those gifts. And that's why I feel that, I don't know if y'all heard that other message that I had where I was talking about if you're going to have, let's say for instance, we all were at a church and we all are in that same church, okay? And just say if Sister Deborah, now I don't say me because I think a man should be a pastor all the time. I always felt like that. If a man there and he's our pastor, then that man should not even want to take that position as a pastor unless he has a prophet in the midst. You see what I'm saying? I went back because the Father told me to go back, Deborah, and you pulled every last one of the men that I used in the biblical. And when I did, guess what? All of them had prophets. Even the prophets had prophets. Like, say, Moses and those who were considered prophets, David, he called them prophets, even though he had assigned them prophets. That lets you know that you are not all that and some by yourself. And when he was showing me that, I said, but, oh, Father, you got prophet on the side of everybody. These men today, they think they seers, watchmen, Maureen, pastors, apostle. None of them don't have any prophets on the side or in the midst because they don't want nobody discerning or giving them anything of a righteous message or judgment. A prophet is a judge. They don't want that. They want to rule the people from the tail end. And that's what they do. And a lot of these men don't even understand. Your pastor ain't got no business pastoring you unless you got a prophet from the Most High, anointed and appointed in the midst of y'all. If you don't have that, one that's going to tell the pastor, stop that cursing, stop that drinking, stop that whoring, stop that doing this, stop that doing this, because that's what Ahia's prophets are to do, to help support the apostles or the prophet or the pastors, Maureen, seers, and leaders, to help them with the congregation, okay? And to support, give them that, it's 5 administrative positions, help them in that, being able to be the eye and the ear to hear from Yah. You see, but in this day and time, and it's been going for years, these prophets, these pastors, they took the highest totem pole. T.D. Jakes, all of them. How did you get up there? Where's the prophet? You see? Where's the prophet? They ain't got none. But how did you get there? But then when y'all go back to the Bible, you'll see everybody had a prophet. Everybody had a prophet. And when they prophet died, Ahiah sent them another prophet. Every time. And I'm like saying to myself, that's what you're saying. So these people are not walking your righteous will. He said, no, they ain't. They just put themselves in places to rule and to deceive many, and to rule and control and to gain the power. And that's what these people are living on, the flesh of a man that's ruling them, and not the spirit of the Most High or higher. Because he said, before I will send a pastor, I will send a prophet. You see, because he was send the pastor to pastor the church. Okay, that's good. But you need a prophet, because you can get beside yourself. And I'm known to send a judge to everyone that I have anointed and appointed to teach or to preach or to be a pastor, to be an apostle, to be a teacher or a Maureen seer or whatever they want to call themselves. Everybody just out there ruling. It ain't nobody ruling them, because Ahiah ain't in the midst of them. Because when Ahiah gonna come in the midst of them, he's coming with his he's coming with his prophet. And that's another thing I think is just out of whack. But Ahiah let him. So much for that. Oh no, they don't want to be called out. They don't want to be told anything. They don't want to be nothing. That's why you know that they are not appointed nor anointed for the positions that they are taking on, because they don't want to allow Ahiah's prophets to come in to be their prophets. Because say for instance, if a pastor did something, say he beat his wife or he did anything, he should be able to go to a prophet, and the prophet goes before the father and come back and tell him what the father said. You see what I'm saying? Because he can't go because what he has done. He can go and say, oh, please forgive me. But the prophet is what Ahiah has known to send amongst the pastors or the bishops or the apostle. He always I say the leaders. He always makes sure they have a prophet, but they don't want that. They definitely don't want no woman. They definitely don't want that. But I'm gonna tell y'all, I didn't know this. I learned something today. Let me tell you what I learned. I did not know the prophets were judged too. They are judges too. I didn't know that, because all I heard the prophets going to tell them what God said the Most High. They go back and forth, and after a while they kill them. That's what I always thought. You know what I'm saying? So he was telling me, no, the prophets are judges. I didn't know that. I thought they was the mouthpiece of Yah to go tell, God said the Most High this, you better do this. No, they are judge as well. I was like, oh, wow. So I always thought just the female was the judge. But no, he said all prophets that he sent, they're giving the ability and the spirit to judge situations. I was like, wow, that's pretty good. No wonder they killed him, because they didn't want to be judged. They didn't want to be told right from wrong. They don't want to hear that. They don't want to abide by that. And that's how it is today. Real high level in that. But I'm gonna say this. I appreciate each and every last one of you all joining me today. And I will be back. I think my laptop about to cut off. And I want to say I appreciate also each and every last one of you all who all the time have the heart to donate. I appreciate that. I don't want you to think that I don't hey, no, hold up. I don't I'm not aware of it. I am, and I appreciate it. And I want to say to you, I'm working on the women's retreat that I'm planning on having, and I'm hoping we all can join one another But the ideal about the retreat is going to be in a certain location, and I'm just hoping everyone make it before it gets really bad. That's what I wanted. It's going to get really bad, uh, and I'm just hoping we can unite for that event, uh, and let that be a lifelong uh, situation that we'll always be connected. So, and the reason why I think it's kind of sad, y'all, want me to tell you what's sad about it? When my daughter got here in Atlanta, I mean, from Atlanta, where I used to stay too, but she got here and she got what it's a here in Missouri, it's a lot of groups of women groups. You know, they get together once a week and they do things. And I'm just saying, here we are saying we represent the most high, a higher. Why is it we can't? You know, if the world can do it, what's wrong with us? We should have put effort to wanting and desiring to come in unity and just have a good time in the spirit with one another. So I think about it and I think it's sad because my oldest sister told me, yeah, I belong to a group too. Remember, I told you I've been with them for 10 years and we do stuff all the time. They go to a wine tasting, they go to all kind of things as a group, and it's like 30 and 40 of them, and they do it every week. And I'm like, they said, but they was telling me, see, I didn't know that exists. They said it's a lot of us, a lot of groups like that, women group. I thought that was beautiful. I think it's beautiful. And it's a sad thing the women of the most high, higher can't come together and unite in a gathering, you know, and put effort to show up and look forward to an event where we all come together and don't look, Sister Deborah don't put nothing together. They don't be off the chain. You hear me? I'm known for that. And my people will tell you, oh, when she put something together, she is off the chain. So I'm just still saying that I'm still working on that and hoping at least the 1st of May, in between in May, that we all can maybe, you know, get together. And even those who can't even afford it, I can still look on the GoFundMe and see what's there that can help, you know, someone who might not have the round trip ticket or might not have one way back or can have a way there or whatever. Just a way that we can come together. And like I said, it's really sad. It's really sad if the world can gather. And when I see the pictures of my daughter and her group, it's from women. They got women from 72 all the way down to 19. And it is beautiful to see all these women together, especially when they have like an event where they dress up or event where they all out to eat. It is a sight to see. And my oldest sister's pictures too. And I'm like saying, Father, why is it they can get together, but we that say that we are spirit and truth in you and we can't? So I'm working on that for the month of May and hoping that nothing comes to happen before that time, you know, as far as this thing that they're shooting out. So again, I say unto you all, drop again your email. I got everybody's zip code. I don't know if I got everybody. I got like 6 of you all zip code. Because what I want to do, I want to come in between the middle of that to where I'm close to everyone that's in the majority of that area. You know what I'm saying? So we can work that out to where everybody can, even like I said, those who can't afford it or those who don't have enough to make the round trip or something. We're going to let's see what we can do with that situation. So Sister Deborah said, I appreciate each and every last one of you all tuning in, and I will. What you say? I'm 51. I'm 62. So I think it's be a good idea. Okay, so